Let me decide what I care about. I just wanted to see the pizza dog again, but no.
6 days into Christmas, and we're gonna fill it with a lot of Christmas activities.
Gingerbread house.
Thanks, previously on segment. Now I know the gingerbread house will play a prominent role in this episode because you reminded us of it. Spoiler culture has gone too far. Wasn't all of this at the end of the last episode? It's like the 90 seconds of previously on before the opening logos wasn't enough, so you had to do another 20 seconds after them for a total of 2.5 full minutes before we even get to any new content. A decision made even worse by the fact that this episode released at the same time as episode 1. We don't need all this refresher of something we just saw. I don't know who Herman hired for his graphics, but this is a terrible representation of a piece of pizza. Come to Herman's, where you can get a single giant pepperoni, a random mushroom, and what might be toenail clippings on every slice.
I started taking martial arts when I was 5.
Wow. It's like a year ago?
Haley Steinfeld's a 25-year-old woman, so you can just go ahead and all the way off with that condescending noise.
So that's how you operate? You're just constantly looking for things that are suspicious or weird?
Actual footage of friends and family attempting to understand my job somehow makes its way into the show.
Some people have actually called me the world's greatest archer.
Being arrogant enough to pull a people have been saying brag.
Oh, he's not my dog.
Dog napping.
So what all did you do in this suit?
That is a personal question, sir.
You're kind of my favorite Avenger.
Are you okay, by the way?
Clearly not. Did you hear what you just said? There's at least a concussion at play here.
The tracksuits must have followed you from the auction to where I found you.
Which reminds me, how did Hawkeye find her in the first place? Does he have tracking tech left over from Avenger days? Announcing yourself 5 full seconds before attacking. If they didn't wear the tracksuits, we could have gone with cliched bad guys who make sure our heroes have time to crack a joke and get out of the way, suit mafia. My favorite part of the episode is watching Hawkeye and this kid with a fucking bow just casually walk down the fire escape in plain view of the tracksuiters and the pizza joint owners. I mean, we don't see when they descend from above and come out from the front of the building, but that has to be what happened, right? Why else would they be walking in the front of the building like this? Is he swiping all these supplies for the single cut on his forehead? 1 tube must be enough. And why does she need this much rubbing alcohol? This is too much, even for people who are wanting to make their own hand sanitizer. Stocking your goldfish near the wound closure tape.
Well, yes, Clint, you may enter my apartment.
She says to Clint while currently standing in someone else's apartment without permission. Good thing Hawkeye knew about the age-old tradition of firemen leaving their jackets directly by open fire truck doors and their helmets on the front bumper. It's that hero college education finally paying off. I don't want to spend the next half hour researching whether or not fire departments allow personalized stickers on their work vehicles. So instead, I'm going to send this plot-convenient sticker and send anyone who would want to advertise their L.A.R.P nerdness so boldly.
Since when did everybody start saying I love you to everybody all the time?
Cynicism. This much first aid chaos for that little cut.
You did it all wrong. Let me fix it.
Is the idea that after years of combat training, Kate wouldn't know how to apply a Band-Aid to her forehead correctly? Way to undermine the intellect and basic problem-solving skills of your brilliant female lead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rip it off like a Band-Aid, okay?
It is a Band-Aid. There is no way that this man just typed NYC L.A.R.Pers by tapping his thumbs in the same place on the keyboard over and over again. Let's fix this. Let's figure out what he really wrote. Well, that's dumb. The most miraculous thing about the Ronin gear is that it magically fits every body type. Head in a mode, eat your heart out. Again? Fine, we'll fix this one too.
No donuts, buddy.
Forbidding donuts.
I may be an idiot, but I got seniority.
Middle management.
Is this about the ninja?
No, it's not about the ninja.
Lying to your children.
These two events have officials wondering if indeed the Ronin has returned to New York City.
We're now 2 for 2 on episodes with forced news position. I'm not counting my arrows before they quiver, but Hawkeye may be trying to shoot the moon here and get news position into every episode. It's risky because it's a sin every time, but if they pull it off, we'll be forced to take 50 sins off in the final episode. We'll keep you updated.
You're just not gonna listen to me, are you?
Why would she? She's not a child, and she barely knows Hawkeye. If the show thinks that his clout should weigh in on his ability to boss other people around, they should have done a better job at making us believe that anyone gives a shit about who Hawkeye even is.
Go get changed. You look silly.
Easy there, Clint. You just combined a man orders a woman around with a women should look a certain way. If you aren't careful, we're going to think you're a legitimate asshole instead of this weird half-hole thing the show seems to be trying to do.
What am I selling, then? Huh? It's certainly not Halloween costumes or toys off the shelf.
Inspiration.
But also pretty much solely for the Halloween costumes and toys off the shelf, because Disney.
Kate, what are you wearing? Oh, it's a friend's.
Being ashamed to admit you're friends with David S. Pumpkins.
She feels threatened by me, and you know what? I can understand why.
Is it because you're a one-note character that's painted so thin you can still see the drywall behind you? Because...
And if you break the rules, it's gonna get real messy.
But why would Hawkeye care about what the police officers and firefighters think if he breaks the L.A.R.P rules? Or is he afraid they'd beat him up for disrupting their adult playtime for a very real threat? Is no one allowed to be an actual adult during L.A.R.P time? Is it a you have to be in character until midnight situation? Because those rules are broken immediately when Grills has a quick chat with Hawkeye out of character and they work it out. Certainly everyone here would be all about helping Hawkeye solve a real threat, but the show's got a L.A.R.P, I guess.
So, your scroll details your character's mission.
By God's bones, look at that sarding scroll. It's like a heavy-duty parchment with flame-detailed edges and fancy calligraphy instructions. And you're saying every player gets one of these? Who's financing this boffer? Elon Musk? What are the rules here? Can everyone swarm one person and eliminate them? Everyone seemed paired up a moment ago, so how do you know when to switch to free-for-all? I'm asking because the show's confusing me, not because I want to do it or anything. So is it just like a torso hit that takes you out? Like, when would I know how to like fake an injury and then like fall to a knee before rising up and shoving my pretend sword through my enemy's thigh in this really dumb, confusing game?
You're a superhero in real life.
Discounting that you are a real-life superhero as a firefighter.
I fought Thanos.
Yeah, and I'm sure that after I spun out and totaled my car trying to avoid an idiot driver that the bug that happened to hit my rear windshield right before the spin reveled at the chaos he thought he caused too. Hawkeye's adorable. Again?
See you tomorrow.
The phone makes the hang-up noise, but Kate didn't hang up and neither did the officer. So who's the third person on the line and why is it Pizza Dog?
Now, you must drink the ritualistic potion. It is a bottle.
Event has the cash for multiple banners, tents, props, and costumes, but when the call came through for a bottle, they were all like, what, do you think we're made of money? You mime that shit, Wendy.
Can't have that show up on my credit card.
No, they will charge you.
Which brings the question, how was Hawkeye not charged to play already? Can anyone walk in L.A.R.P for free until midnight? How are funds collected? How is the group funded? Who is paying to rent out a spot in Central Park? Boring. I already knew this was coming because of the previously on, and now it means nothing to me.
Okay, all she said was why not. That's not a convincing argument. That's not an argument at all.
I was going to say Norma Bates would be excellent at TVSins and such, but then I thought, is why not an argument? So then I decided that actually it could be a valid argument and that she's wrong here and therefore not excellent at TVSins. But since I've already started sinning this, I might as well go ahead and give the sin anyway because, well, why not? Is this my first rich person has fencing gear at the ready cliche?
How many people get murdered by a sword each year in New York?
Well, technically swords are classified as cutting instruments and lumped with knives and such. Because, let's face it, knives are really just tiny swords. So a quick search says about 30% of murders in New York are by swords of varying sizes. So maybe just open up Google for a second, Kate, before throwing Jack's good name under the bus.
Butterscotch.
Oh no, not a simple butterscotch that was at a dead person's house one time and could have been handed to Jack 12 different non-nefarious ways.
Kate Bishop.
Not Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop is guy, bro.
Kate Bishop is not Guy.
Did Hawkeye just take a right turn into Deadpoolian silliness? Because the tone whiplash is real, bro, and Renner could really work on his Ryan Reynolds impersonation.
Bro, I found her.
And he knows this. How? He can't see her face, and only moments ago he thought Kate was a dude. Whoa, a person that's probably important in the comics, but I don't know, just ended the episode by breaking the fourth wall and looking right at me. However could I stop watching now?
You have terrible aim.
Would a bag of money know a place?
If the girl says her name, a man will feed her tonight.
A girl has no name.
Beginners only get one free hit. If you get hit in the torso, it's fatal.
Come, let us gingerly touch our tips.
Well, I'm a Viking. I'm really a Viking.
I don't care!
You ready? I was born ready.
Stop letting me win.
Because I know something you don't know. I am not left-handed.
Put one foot in front of the other.
Baby steps.